What happens when war becomes the new normal, when deaths are mere statistics? It's happening in Gaza right now. Every day we see the headlines. There are airstrikes on the Gaza Strip. Hundreds of people die. But Israel gives no explanation and the world doesn't condemn it. It just moves on to the next big event. How is that okay? It's been 10 months since this war began. 38,500 people have been killed. Tens of thousands do not have a home. Children are starving and Israeli hostages are still being held in Gaza. Yet there seems to be no end to the attacks. Looks like Israel's game plan is only war. But how is that sustainable? Yesterday, India spoke about this at the United Nations. It called for a ceasefire in Gaza.
India was among the countries which strongly and unequivocally condemned the terror attacks on Israel on 7 October 2023. We have also condemned the loss of civilian lives in the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict. We have called for restraint, de-escalation, and emphasized peaceful resolution of the conflict through dialogue and diplomacy. We have also urged adherence to international law and international humanitarian law under all circumstances. We reiterate the call for an immediate, full and complete ceasefire, safe, timely and sustained humanitarian assistance and unrestricted access to relief and essential humanitarian services in the Gaza Strip.
India's point is very simple. End the war, return the hostages, allow aid to pass and stop the killing of civilians. But for any of this to happen, Israel has to agree. It has to want a ceasefire. But does it? I'll tell you why I ask this. Until last week, a ceasefire deal was on the table. It was proposed by the United States. Hamas seemed okay with it. The talks were making good progress. But then Israel bombed a safe zone. More than 90 people were killed in that strike. So Hamas left the talks. And it's not the first time something like this has happened. In the month of May, Gaza was days away from a ceasefire. And what did Israel do? It sent tanks into the city of Rafah. Another example is from last November. The two sides were close to a truce. That's when Israel stepped up the strikes. Basically, every time there's talk of peace, Israel escalates the war. What explains this? There could be two possible reasons. The first is to pressurize Hamas. If Israel ramps up the attacks, Hamas has its back to the wall. So it is more likely to make concessions. That could be one reason. The other argument is that Israel just doesn't want this war to end, or more precisely, Netanyahu doesn't want the war to end. When Hamas attacked on October 7th, Israel set two goals. One, bring back all the hostages, and two, destroy Hamas. Now, a ceasefire deal can achieve the first goal, the release of the hostages. As far as destroying Hamas is concerned, before October, they had around 30,000 fighters. Israel's army says it has killed 13,000 of them. But top Hamas commanders are still alive. So what exactly is Israel's goal? Killing all people affiliated to Hamas in the Gaza Strip? Or just eradicating the top commanders, or both? Israel has not clarified. And critics say this is part of Prime Minister Netanyahu's plan. If he doesn't define a goal, he won't be under pressure to stick to it, let alone try to achieve it. Because now this war is helping no one but Benjamin Netanyahu. He is the only person benefiting. The longer the war, the longer he can remain in power. And some of his allies support this strategy.
I came here to the most important place for the state of Israel, the people of Israel, to pray for the hostages. May they return home without a reckless deal, without surrender. I am praying and also working hard for the Prime Minister to have courage not to concede and to go on until victory is achieved, to add military pressure, to stop the fuel, to win.
That was Ben-Gvir, Israel's far-right security minister. He was at the Al-Aqsa Mosque praying for the return of hostages, but he won't accept a ceasefire deal. That's how Israel's government is approaching this. They plan to fight on. But the people of Israel have a different opinion. They want the hostages back and they want them now.
Calling for the Prime Minister to seal this deal, the Defense Minister and all the security services telling us this is the right moment to close this deal.
There is more than 9 months in the captivity in Gaza, and I'm here to make everything and to put all the efforts to bring them home. We are here asking our Prime Minister not to fly before he's making the deal, before he's signing the deal.
Israelis want a peace deal, their government wants war. Caught in between are 100 hostages and tens of thousands of Gazans, while the rest of the world is busy looking away.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global South. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.
Obviously today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
We start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. For the first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C.